Thank you very much. Hey, in the house this morning, we continue our candidate interviews, and we have Yakima County Coroner Mr. Jack Hawkins in the house this morning. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning.
Yeah, been how long have you been the Yakima County Coroner, Jack?
Almost 10 years now.
10 years, wow. Let's see, a small office. I mean, I got to think it's one of the smallest departments in the county, right? Or the smallest department in the county.
It would be the smallest department, also the smallest budget, but the best working people in the county. My chief deputy coroner Marshall Slight is just awesome. There's just the two of us, so we're both on call 24/7 and both running. And my office manager, Teresa Campbell, oh, what a gem. And she's an ex-police officer, so when it comes to our reports and stuff, she kind of helps us and oversees us and corrects us every now and then, but she's just a lifesaver.
Well, Jack, what does a coroner do? If people do not know out there, what does a coroner... Actually, first of all, who is Jack Hawkins? I've asked everyone that. So who are you, Jack? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your family before.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. I was born here in Yakima, raised in Yakima. The only time really I've lived away from Yakima is the time that I spent in the United States Air Force during the Vietnam conflict. I graduated from Davis High School. I then joined the United States Air Force, married obviously with 4 wonderful children, 7 grandchildren. My wife has been a school teacher in the area, and we've raised our family here and been very much involved in the community in basically the West Valley School District. Where, in fact, I work with the forensic class out there with Mrs. Keski on the board for her forensic class, and I've actually tutored and had some of the students into my office and worked with me and worked with my forensic pathologist. We got some young people that want to get into forensic medicine, maybe go doctor. All right, let's do it. Let's help them out. And I've been told I'm pretty instrumental in the success of that program. So those are the things that we do. Work with the homeless, work with neighborhood health.
Well, tell us, what does the coroner do on a daily basis? I mean, because we don't have a homicide every day, right? I mean, but you're still busy. What are you doing?
Right. Well, obviously, we have a number of other investigations going on. We have deaths that occur that are natural deaths. It could be in the hospital. If a person hasn't been in the hospital for more than 36 hours and they pass away, they are a coroner case. And it's up to me then to contact the families, contact and get medical records, do a complete investigation on all deaths, and to find out if it is actually a natural death or something, help them along. And sometimes we then obviously, if needed, we do an autopsy, but we have to determine the cause and the manner of that death. And in doing so, obviously, then there's death certificates that are needed for the families, and I do that. I responsible for doing that. It's not really all of it. It's not my responsibility. If the doctor refuses, and we have quite a few docs that refuse to sign death certificates. I guess they don't want to be known as the death doctor, but they don't sign them. And then it really comes down to the county or the doctor out at the health department is supposed to take. But he's so busy and only here a couple of days a week. So I step in for the family, do my research, and make sure I know. And I can document if we can do it without an autopsy or just a minor exam, then I will sign and document that death certificate. If we can't figure out exactly on what the cause and manner of death is on a death certificate, a lot of times we'll list the cause and manner as pending until we can. So that we usually try to get the death certificates done within 3 days, and then the family can have closure. They can go through their process at the funeral homes and that sort of thing. Like I say, we work with all the investigations, doing reports. Like this last weekend was I like to say it was horrendous. We had a couple homicides. We had a man died up in the mountains. We had a couple overdoses.
So you're a busy man today.
Yeah,
busy man today. Well, I guess tell us, Jackie. You're I can't even say it here. The campaign, that's the word I want to say, has been going on now, and there's been some concerns throughout the campaign that you have had that you'd like to clear up.
Yes, there have been. There's been obviously some half-true innuendos that have been made that we're slow on getting death certificates done, or that I have been rude to dispatcher, the police. I love these people. I work with these people. I talk to these people at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and police officers. I worked with the sheriff's department for 10 years, the Yakima Police Department for 15 years as officer, and retired from them. I'm one of the brothers, and I'm not rude to these people, and I may be a little groggy at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, but I'm not rude, and I get the information, and as soon as I get woke up, we're on our way, and we respond.
And that law enforcement background that you have is different than your opponent. And tell us why you believe that your law enforcement background is so important.
Okay, absolutely. It started with the sheriff's department, and then with the police department. And during we did the obvious things. I mean, during my law enforcement career, and got involved in investigation. I became a traffic fatality expert, and worked in homicides, worked in crime scenes, death investigations, all kinds of whatever the police officers do, we did. But also, one of the things that's interesting is we were first responders to the scene. And in that first response to the scene, I obviously get there and tend to the medical aspect of the injured person. And during my career, I did take classes and obtained emergency medical technician status, and numerous hours I spent in the emergency room working with emergency doctors to obtain that. And we rendered first aid to the individuals. We always call it the 3 Bs, the bleeding, the heartbeat, blood, heartbeat, and breathing. Stop bleeding, make sure they're breathing, and get the heart beating. And man, I attended to hundreds and hundreds of people. I laid in ditch with them. I splinted broken bones. I CPR in open airways. And this is obviously, it's now called pre-hospital medicine, I guess. This is what my opponent has, pre-hospital medicine. He's a medic. But I have 25 years of that experience. I guess I never thought about it until we got into the election thing. But then I think about it, well, I guess I have 25 years of the same thing. But then I went into the coroner's office. I started as a chief deputy coroner. Then we start going into, obviously, the other end of the spectrum. Unfortunately, the death part of the investigation. This individual is now deceased. And from that point, obviously, I have received extensive training in what I call a medico-legal investigation, which deals with wounds, what type of wounds, whether it's a gunshot wound, knife wound, a ligature, and how to determine what time this individual died. Is he in the right position? Has he been moved? We can tell by lividity, which is the blood flow, rigor mortis, and then we get to the autopsy. Okay, I first of all, I've investigated over 6,500 deaths in Yakima County. That's 6,500 in my career, and obviously they're not all trauma deaths. We have a lot of them that are heart attacks and strokes, that sort of thing, and those also have to be investigated. A lot of times we don't know that's what happened, but we get to the point, if we don't know, then we take the extreme step always to go to the autopsy. And I have never done, I will repeat that, I have never done an unnecessary autopsy, and I have never not done an autopsy to save money. That is absurd. I would never do that. If I had to pay for it out of my own pocket, I would make sure that autopsy got done.
It's funny you would say that, Jack. Just that I was watching a show last night, and there was a guy that in the movie who drowned, and the sheriff basically said, "Oh, he drowned. We're not going to do anything." But an investigator with background and skills noticed a couple things, and he kind of had to go around the sheriff, and autopsy showed that it was not what it predicted to be. So the reason he didn't want to do it was money. That is small department. Got to be careful with their money, and so that was almost a case of justice not served because of concern for dollars. So it's good to hear you say that you got to be a good manager of money, but money doesn't call the shots when it comes to getting to the truth, right?
Absolutely, and we have cases like that, especially when we have a drowning. We find somebody in the water. How did he get there?
Yeah.
You know, did he hit his head? Somebody hit him? Somebody pushed? We have to find that out. So obviously you have to do an autopsy. Yeah, you're right. You know, and they are expensive, but you have to do it. I mean, if we have to get more money, we'll get more money. But I mean, and a lot of times we'll do autopsies for the family. The family say, yeah, my dad was, 75, years old and stuff, and he had a little problem, but we really need to know. Is there anything, and we will try to help to facilitate this as much as we can. Because not only to find out exactly what happened to him if we're not sure, but also does the family need to know?
Does it affect their medical future themselves?
To go get checked. Was there heart blockage? Was there disease in there? And does the family need to know this? And this is something that's something that we do, and my doc's very good about it, and we do. But in every autopsy, and what's interesting about the autopsy, and I've done over 800 of them, and I don't just say go do an autopsy. I'm there. I supervise that autopsy. That is my college. That's my learning spot. I have how many hours? It takes 2 to 4 hours to do an autopsy. Done over 800 of them. How many medical students get that kind of tutoring from a forensic pathologist? Not out of a book. We got the real thing in front of me.
That's right. That's right.
So as far as medical experience and medical knowledge and writing these reports and doing this, that is something that my opponent has absolutely no idea. He's never been to an autopsy.
Jack, you got about a minute. Tell us why you are the man, and why people should put you back in that office or keep you in that office as our Yakima County coroner, Jack.
Well, obviously, I'm endorsed by a lot of people that are involved.
You've brought us a long list. That's right.
That are involved in the in my endeavor as far as the coroner. Sheriff Brian Winter has given me his full 100% support. He doesn't want to come out with an endorsement. He does want to get in the fray of that. But he told me that, yes, tell people you have my 100% support. Ken Irwin, previous sheriff, has endorsed me. Forensic pathologists. All of my endorsements are people that are involved in what I do and in this industry. And that's so important. But my compassion, my investigative skills, and what I want to do for the citizens of Yakima County, I earn their trust. I don't just say you can trust me. I earn their trust. Transparency, again, is one thing that keeps coming up. My office is probably the most transparent office in the county. My doors are open to anybody that wants to come in. Obviously, we can't show you medical records, but we can show you what we do, and I'd be glad to do that. And if anyone has any concerns or has any questions that they want from me, get a pencil. Write this number down. 509-941-7693. That's a 24-hour-a-day, 7 days. Call me. I'll be glad to answer my phone. I carry it on my hip. I don't go to the bathroom without my phone. So my experience, my compassion, I want to continue my career. It's my career. It's what I've done for 35 years. And I look forward to continuing my career.
Jack, thank you for your time this morning. Appreciate your passion showing loud and clear. And as we've told all of our candidates, the event that you're the winner, we hope to have you back here. And we want to do a better job of making sure that the people of the county know what our various county electeds are up to. So we'd be glad to chat with you down the road. So
love to do that. Love to do that anytime. I'm always open to that.
Thank you, Jack.
Best of good luck, Jack. Thanks.
Thank you.